What is going on, people? Looks like we are officially live. If you haven't found out or you're just checking in, the San Francisco 49ers have made a trade and again with the Carolina Panthers, but this time it's for a kicker. The San Francisco 49ers go out and get Zane Gonzalez for a really reasonable price from everything that I'm seeing. It looks like it's going to be a conditional pick swap of 2025 late round draft picks. So effectively what's going to happen in 2025, they haven't given the specific details in regards to what the picks are, but they're late round conditional picks and it will be a swap. And I imagine it'd be like a 6-7 swap. This basically costs them nothing to really go out and get Zane Gonzalez, who's been kicking in the NFL for some time now. Zane was originally drafted by the Cleveland Browns in the 7th round. Again, Zane was a pretty prolific kicker in college and did a lot of really good work in college with ASU, but he's kind of bounced around as some kickers tend to do. Um, he kicked with Cleveland, Arizona, and Carolina last year, and now he comes over to the San Francisco 49ers. So, hey, it's not Brian Burns, but the San Francisco 49ers do fill a need here by going out and getting Zane Gonzalez. Uh, I was on with Jason Aponte earlier today for the state of the franchise that we do every week. And we were talking about kicker and what the plan was going to be. If the San Francisco 49ers were going to go into the draft with a hole at kicker, or if they were going to fill it prior. They do it in a very cost effective manner by doing and going out and getting a kicker in Zane Gonzalez with a conditional 2025 pick swap. So ultimately, the 49ers get a veteran kicker who has experience. And let's look at some of the stats. Last year, Zane Gonzalez kicked over 90% field goal completion. So out of 22 kicks, he made 20 of them. And when you look at extra point, out of 23 extra points attempts, he made 22 of them for a 95.7 percentage uh, completion of making field goals. Also, it's not just field goals because, as we know, a complaint of fans of the San Francisco 49ers has been Robbie Gould's uh, doesn't have the strongest leg in regards to kickoff. And the 49ers fans wanted to see more touchbacks and things like that. So what Zane can provide, I guess, is a 63.6% chance, at least last year, that he was going to have a touchback, meaning kicking it into the end zone, taking it from 25 for the opposing offense. So not bad. Over 60%. It's going to be a touchback. But I think overall, when we're looking at this kicker, um, it's again cost effective. Cost effective. A guy who has plenty of experience in this league, and of course, can come in and definitely help the San Francisco 49ers get it done. Last year, he made 3 field goals from 50 plus yards. He attempted 5. So the 2 field goals he missed were from 50 plus. He made 3 out of 5 of those. He was 10 out of 10 from 40 to 49. He was 1 for 1 from 30 to 39 and 6 for 6 from 20 to 29. Didn't attempt any field goals under 19 yards. So he's okay. He has a decent track record. His career field goal make percentage is 80.5%. So not the best, which is probably why he's bounced around the league a little bit. But again, he has the ability to fill a need right away for super super cost effective price. So again, the San Francisco 49ers playing chess not checkers in this regard, I think with this move. Um, they don't have to go out and spend on a big free agent. But again, we also understand what that means. It's the end of an era. Robbie Gould will not be kicking for the San Francisco 49ers anymore. It had come out during the combine that that was going to be the case anyways, but it is now clear he will not be kicking for the 49ers moving in the future. And I think, again, this comes down to contract requests or differences. Robbie can still demand a decent contract on the open market in the range of, 4, 5, 6+ million dollars, whereas Zane comes in very cost effective, no guaranteed money, and has some experience. Now, Zane is not as good as Robbie has been. Robbie Gould has clearly a phenomenal track record, especially with the San Francisco 49ers. And Zane doesn't have that same experience. I mean, look at the Carolina Panthers. They had two kickers, Zane and Eddie Pinheiro. Eddie Pinheiro is the one that got the contract extension with the Panthers. Zane is the one who got traded. So, what I kind of believe the San Francisco 49ers are going to do, they get Zane. I don't think they're done with Zane, if that makes sense. I still think there is an opportunity for the San Francisco 49ers to turn to the draft or go for an undrafted free agent kicker and have a little camp battle and let the best man win. So I don't think the 49ers are necessarily done, but I do believe that the 49ers fill a hole heading into the draft. And now they don't have to necessarily go out of their way to overextend themselves and draft a kicker in the fourth, fifth round. If they want to, they can, but they don't have to. And I think that's the beauty of it. And as we know, we've seen undrafted free agent kickers have plenty of success in this league. So that's kind of where I see it going down. How do you guys feel about it in the chat? Is this a move that you like? Are you hyped that the San Francisco 49ers went out and made this trade? The San Francisco 49ers just tweeted it, making it official. Zane Gonzalez is officially the San Francisco 49ers new kicker. And again, if you're just joining, the 49ers traded for Carolina Panthers kicker Zane Gonzalez in exchange for late round conditional picks. Didn't give up a whole lot. So we get another Carolina Panther. We fill a need heading into the draft. No Robbie Gould. They get the job done. So clearly the San Francisco 49ers have quite the relationship with the Carolina Panthers front office for the most part. I mean, they traded for Christian McCaffrey in season. They execute a offseason trade granted for a kicker. Sam Darnold, who was with the Carolina Panthers last year, is now a 49er. Steve Wilkes, who was their interim head coach, is now a San Francisco 49er. And they signed safety Miles Hartsfield as well. So, a lot of Carolina Panthers coming through to the San Francisco 49ers. Now there's just one more left. Just one more Carolina Panther that needs to come through to complete the circle. But we'll see what the San Francisco 49ers do heading into the draft. Caught me off guard. I was not expecting the San Francisco 49ers to be trading for a kicker on a Friday afternoon. I was getting ready to just eat some food, go hang out with the family, and then boom, Tom Pelissero reports a kicker trade is upon us, and it is here, and we got a kicker now. So, good things, I guess. Uh, Again, this is kind of how we've reached up until this point what we've expected to be the 49ers kind of philo- philosophy moving through the rest of free agency, finding cost effective, I don't want to say cheap, but cost effective players that can plug into holes that can be effective. Are they ultimately going to be the guy? We don't know. I think with the 49ers making this move, it fills a need, but it gives them flexibility to still potentially go after someone in the draft or a priority undrafted free agent kicker and have a camp kicker competition, which I think would be most ideal with the unknown of the kicker in general. The thing with the 49ers is we've been able to go into training camps year after year since 2017, knowing we have one of the best or better kickers in the NFL in Robbie Gould. So that has been a bit of a stress reliever in that regard, but I still believe Zane has had some quality experience and has done some quality work in this league. I'd still like to see a little kicker competition. I don't know about you guys. Do you think if you think the 49ers need some additional kicker competitions, let me know in the chat. I see someone saying that this is just a smoke screen for Jake Moody, the kicker out of Michigan. And again, I don't necessarily disagree. I still think the San Francisco 49ers could have a trick up their sleeves by going out and getting an undrafted free agent kicker, bringing them into camp, and allowing that to go down. Or, like we've discussed, it's best to have at minimum placeholders heading into the draft so you don't go into the draft like we have no kicker. So all the teams in the NFL know the 49ers need a kicker. They could get jumped, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I think ultimately not bad. What would your instant grade be of this trade? Again, it's a kicker trade. If you didn't hear what the compensation was, it's conditional late round 2025 picks. Well, how would you grade the kicker trade? Uh, wasn't anticipated throwing out kicker grades here on a Friday afternoon regarding the San Francisco 49ers, but here we are. So far, quickly in the chat, JP's a B. We got a C, C plus. We got a B. We got a meh. We got another B. What's his contract? I could give you that info right now. So, regarding his contract, from what I've seen, there's no guaranteed money involved. So, like I said, that it feels like a perfect storm. If the San Francisco 49ers want to have a kicking competition with a rookie, getting rid of Zane really won't cost anything. And because it's a late round swap, they didn't lose any picks. They just swapped spots. So, from a compensation standpoint for the trade, it's really not that much. It's really nothing. Um, it's really nothing. But so far, from what I can see, there's no guaranteed money in his contract. So overall, it's not a financial burden. It's not a trade capital burden. So it's really a definition of a low risk trade. Because if it doesn't work out, it doesn't affect the 49ers at all, because it would be able to get out from underneath him without giving up really anything. And Cutting him would not cost anything. So let's see. He was working off a 2-year no, so he had he has a signing bonus of 625,000. He had a dead cap hit of 625. Uh, he doesn't even have a base salary, according to Spotrac. So, really doesn't look like much of an impact at all from a cost perspective. So, 49ers, hey, chestnut checkers, right? Chestnut checkers. I talked about this all off season. I felt like the San Francisco 49ers needed to get younger and cheaper at the kicker position, but most importantly, cheaper. We did the math yesterday. The San Francisco 49ers have paid out $22 million to Robbie Gould since he's been a San Francisco 49er through multiple contract extensions. That's a lot of money to pay to a kicker. It is nice knowing that you have a guy who can get the job done, but also as this team continues to put assets into skill positions, you start to look at where to save money, and kicker definitely looks like a spot where you could save money. So that seems to be kind of the back end uh, kind of philosophy behind the move. Get, get cheaper at the position, save money at kick, and try to get younger at kicker. And all obviously hit in talent in a little bit of that regard, but you're able to spend money elsewhere. So, and again, if it doesn't work out, doesn't appear to be any hit to the 49ers from a cap perspective and gives them the flexibility heading into the draft. Ultimately, it's not a again, it's not a needle mover type move where you're like, "Yeah, Super Bowl, here we come." It's it could have an impact. It He could become the San Francisco 49ers starter. I still think this leaves the door open though for them to have more flexibility to look at the draft to see if they like any kickers, to be not forced to take a kicker uh, because of need, more so because of fit and value. So I think we're halfway there to figuring out what the kicker spot looks like. So it'll be interesting to see. Again, my gut tells me we could still see the San Francisco 49ers maybe draft someone in the 7th or bring in an undrafted free agent and have a open competition for the kicker spot. But at minimum, the hole is plugged for the meantime because that was a position we had no one there. There's no one there. We had no kicker. So I'm really glad got to have Aponte on, and we got to talk about the kicker before this happened. So we got to get his nice, raw, visceral reaction to the kicker conversation. But 49ers, there you have it. They go out, they get a kicker. It's Zane Gonzalez. 27-year-old former Arizona State kicker. I Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I do believe Zane Gonzalez broke some kind of pretty significant record at for college. Like most points scored ever or something like that. I'm pretty sure because I remember Zane Gonzalez. So I know a lot of people talking about Jake Moody from a perception standpoint. Zane Gonzalez at one point was the Jake Moody of his class. So just that's what I know. I'm not a kicker expert. No, that's a lie. I'm the new 49ers content creator kicker specialist. I lied. Um, Oh, here we go. Appreciate my guy in the chat. He says Gonzalez holds the NCAA Division One record for field goals made in a career. He was a unanimous All-American in 2016. He was awarded the Lou Groza Award in 2016. Exactly. He was this year's Jake Moody. So when he was coming into the draft, he was that guy that uh, broke records for field goals made across the entire NCAA. So clearly can make a kick. Um, but we'll see how it translates into the San Francisco 49ers plans moving forward. Uh, I still want Chad too. I still want Chad. But there you go. Instant reaction to the San Francisco 49ers kicker. Smash that like button on your way out. Hey, 49ers fill another hole. And again, we continue to look forward to the draft. And these are the types of moves that I expect moving forward. Little plugs for the remaining part of the roster and potential depth. We'll see how it all goes. Appreciate you all for tapping in. Smash that like button on your way out. Peace.